Jai Hind students, how are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. Now, in the third module of the chapter from trade to territory, today we will discuss first of all about the Tiger of Mysore. Who was known as the Tiger of Mysore? He was the son of Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan. When the company resorted to direct military confrontation when it saw a threat to its political or economic interests. But this can be illustrated with the case of the southern Indian state of Mysore, where Mysore had grown in strength under the leadership of the powerful rulers like Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan. Mysore controlled the profitable trade of the Malabar coast, where the company purchased paper, cardamom. In 1785, when Tipu Sultan stopped to export sandalwood, paper, and cardamom through the ports of his kingdom and disallowed local merchants from trading with the company. He also established a close relationship with the French in India and modernized his army with their help. The British were furious at that time. They saw Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan as ambitious, arrogant and dangerous, and anyhow they wanted to control Mysore as well as they wanted to crush them. There were 4 wars which were fought with Mysore, one in 1767 to 69, then another 1780 to 84, third 1790 to 92 and the last one in 1799. Only in the battle of Seringapatanam, Tipu Sultan was killed defending his capital and Mysore was placed under the former ruling dynasty of Wodeyars and a subsidiary alliance was imposed on the state. Now we will discuss about the war with Marathas. From the late 18th century, the company also sought to curb and eventually destroy Maratha power. With their defeat in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761, the Marathas' dream of ruling from Delhi was shattered. They were divided into many states under different chiefs or sardars, they were known as, belonging to the dynasty such as Sindhia, Holkar, Gaikwad and Bhosle. These chiefs were held together in a confederacy under a Peshwa. Peshwa means the principal minister, the principal, the head, who became its effective military and administrative head based in Pune. Mahatji Sindhia and Nana Fernandez were 2 famous Maratha soldiers and statesmen of the last 18th century. The Marathas were also subdued in a series of war. In the first war that ended in 1782 with the Treaty of Salbai, there was no clear victor. The second Anglo-Maratha war held in 1803 to 5 was fought on different fronts, resulting in the British gaining Odisha and territories north of Yamuna river including Agra and Delhi. Finally, the third Anglo-Maratha war of 1817 to 19 crushed Maratha power and Peshwa was removed and sent away to Bittur near Kanpur with a pension. The company now had complete control over the territories south to the Vindhyas. Now we will talk about the claim of paramountcy. First we will understand what is. From the early 19th century, company went on with the aggressive territorial expansion. Means they wanted to expand their kingdom without any rules and regulations. A new policy of paramountcy was initiated. Now the company claimed that its authority was paramount, means that is supreme. That is the reason its power was greater than that of Indian states. In order to protect its interest, it was justified in annexing or threatening to annex any Indian kingdom. This view continued to guide later British policies as well. And this process, however, did not go unchallenged. For example, when the British tried to annex the small state of Kittur, which is now known as Karnataka, Rani Channamma took the arms to lead an anti-British resistance movement. She was arrested in 1824 and died in prison after 4 years in 1829. But Rayanya, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli in Kittur, carried on the resistance with popular support. He destroyed many British camps and records. He was caught and hanged by the British in 1830. So, we will see more about this. Like in 1830s, the East India Company became worried about Russia. It imagined that Russia might expand it across Asia and enter India from the northwest. And driven by that fear only, as they had that fear, the British now wanted to secure control over the northwest. They fought prolonged war with Afghanistan. Then after winning, they started coming from Sindh. Sindh was also taken over in 1843. Next in the line was Punjab. Definitely Maharaja Ranjit Singh at that time held back the company, but after his death in 1839, two long war were fought with the Sikh kingdom, and ultimately in 1849 Punjab was also annexed. Now we will talk about doctrine of lapse. This was also such a unjust policy, that the doctrine of lapse, actually that policy took place under the guidance of Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. And in that, according to this policy, if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, means male descendant, his kingdom would be lapse, or his kingdom will be a part of company's territory, means direct. Even if that ruler has many daughters, then also the daughters will not get any share, the company will get the whole share. One kingdom after another was annexed simply by applying this doctrine: Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur, Jhansi, and so many. In 1856, the company also took over Awadh, and this time British had an added argument. They said that they were obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from misgovernment of the Nawab. So, this is also. Now, we will talk about new administration which took place. That Warren Hastings was one of the many important figures who played a significant role in the expansion of company power. By his time, the company had acquired power not only in Bengal but also in other places like Bombay and Madras. British territories were broadly divided into administrative units, which was called presidencies. There were 3 presidencies. One was in Bengal, another in Madras, and third in Bombay. Each one was ruled by the governor, and the supreme head of the administration was the Governor General. Warren Hastings, the first Governor General, introduced several administrative reforms which we will discuss in the next module. So, till then, Jai Hind, stay safe, stay healthy.